I-35 between this is the local bitching part of the podcast. I-35 between Austin and
That's nothing. I could put a strap on that bell and walk it down the stairs. That's nothing. It's as big as a dude.
between Austin and San Marcos. It's
way
been under
bigger than a
construction for
dude.
25 years.
What's that?
I-35 between Austin and San Marcos, that's been under construction for like 25 years, right?
Orange and white barriers are everywhere in this town, and I just don't see them other places. I'm sure they exist, but they're everywhere in Austin. It's a constant fixture.
That's because you live in Austin. Of course, you're going to make that observation.
I also spend a lot of time in Los Angeles. I don't go down. What's this backup for 45 miles? Oh, they took I-10 down to one lane or something like that. Never see it. I'm sure it happens. I never fucking see it. I see it every fucking day in Austin. Every single day.
What's the new World Trade Center building called?
Freedom Tower? Freedom Tower.
It took like 11 years to build it.
Well, that was terrible.
It was terrible?
The whole thing was terrible. Yeah.
Why?
Well, first of all, I think it took 3 years to clear the site.
Yeah.
Because it was a criminal investigation as well.
But
And then they couldn't
decide
decide what they were going to do. Actually, look at the construction. It didn't take 11 years to build it.
Yeah. It took like from 04 to recently, didn't it?
I don't think so.
I'm
I
looking.
don't think so.
Patrick's telling me that new additions to Mopac started in 94.
In when?
94.
94.
It's like where Ace Ventura Pet Detective was out.
What are they doing? I see these crews working. They go down one side of the freeway, they tear it up, and they repave it. Then they go down the other side of the freeway, they tear it up and repave it. Nothing about the freeway fucking changes.
You say you want all construction to be
It took
done.
8 years to build Freedom Tower.
8 years to build the Freedom Tower.
Okay, fine.
There you go.
But are you saying you want everything to be...
You could repair 2 bells, Gavin, in the amount of time that it took to build the Freedom Tower.
It's like, you're like, man, I've been living my life and there's always stuff under construction. I hope it ends soon. It will never end. Everything will always be under construction forever.
Only in
And
Austin, though.
No, everywhere.
Nope.
Nothing will ever be finished.
'Cause
That's
it's
not how the world works. No one's ever like, and we're done.
Yeah, yes.
No, that's not how like
They have to maintain
works.
stuff.
It's also like airport construction. Every airport's always under construction.
There's a fucking door in the Austin airport. It's the door I'm talking about. The sliding doors.
Yeah.
They boxed them off 8 months ago to fix the door. It's still boxed off to this day. And no one can answer why
That
the
wasn't
fuck.
8 months ago.
How long has that been under
one
construction?
in front of
American
American?
Airlines?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 months.
It's been a long time.
No.
It's been a long
It's been
time.
a bit.
Lunatic. 3 months. That's why it takes your country 4 years to fix a fucking bell, because you can't keep track of time. That door's been under construction at least 8 or 9 months. A door! It's a doorway. It's a doorway. I mean, the opening already exists.
trying to
You know what
think
it is? They don't want you to use the door because of the fucking AC
Yeah.
in the summer. So they're delaying it until the end of the summer. I guarantee it.
Well, to do that, they always have 2 sets, and they open one door and then the other on the diagonal.
How many times have you ever been to an airport in anywhere else in the U.S. where one of the major entrances just doesn't exist? Like it's boxed off.
one
and
terminal.
all shitty and terrible
There's
and
only
everything.
one terminal. Of course, there's going to be a broken door.
I see construction all the time. All the time at our airport. I don't see it. I go to other airports a lot. I don't run into construction constantly in other airports. I run into it constantly in our
It's at every airport. It's constant.
Where am I running into construction? I mean, there's traffic in LAX. but
LAX had
LAX, they
terrible
were
construction
fixing the
forever.
terminals,
Yeah, they were
yeah.
fixing like Terminal 8.
You're also talking
baggage
about Austin
claim.
Airport. It's the airport you go through the most, so of course you're going to see these problems more often than
I don't
like
see
JFK.
them. I'm saying I don't see them at all when I go there.
Because you don't go to JFK every week.
But I see it every time I go to Austin.
Because
So I
that's
should see it every time I go to
that's
JFK.
where you go every damn week.
Because every trip of yours starts or ends in
Yeah,
Austin.
you can't fly anywhere without going to Austin Airport. And
Every
you
time
fly-
I go through Austin, I see it.
But that's because that's what you're. What are you talking about?
Every time I go through Austin for like the last 5 years, it's under construction.
Isn't it weird that you never see construction at Jamaica Airport?
I don't go
How
to
weird is
Jamaica
it?
Airport.
That's why
I go to JFK and I never see it. I always see it here and I never see it here.
Unbelievable.
What are you talking about? I have
Okay.
to go somewhere. I don't fucking do a loop around the state and land back in
Isn't
the
it
same
weird?
goddamn airport. I go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
isn't it weird that you only vacuum your floor?
You're an idiot. I land in another place. And there would be construction in the other place at least once. That's all I'm saying. I never see it anywhere.
From now on, you're driving to a different airport first. You can't fly from Austin anymore. You're going to drive to Houston.
In
and
your
you'll fly from
analogy,
there.
I'm getting in my car and driving around my garage and then stopping and getting out and going, I only see my garage. Fucking idiot. Go fix your bell, cocksucker. God, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm done with this.
I'm like sweaty right now.
Let's wrap this up. Thanks everybody for
Can't be in
watching.
the post
Oh,
show.
I'm going to piss my pants.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, bye.
What an escalation.
I mean, like, there's no equivalent of a cold for a dog,
My-
is there?
Yeah, dogs can
You get, like
sneeze.
kennel cough and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
My
I
mom's
get that
dog
shit.
is dead. No, as in
What weird way of saying that.
Chris, what is
no.
Mom's dog dead as shit.
It's
just
alive.
What?
It should be dead.
What?
It's
You
like
just changed it.
You can't start. It's
No,
like
no, no.
you saw your friend. He's dead. He's not actually dead.
No.
They freak everyone out.
My mom took her. She came for Thanksgiving. She took her dog. Her dog. It doesn't have bladder control. It wears a diaper. 2, it
It's like you.
2, it doesn't have any teeth, and its jaw collapsed.
Oh, what?
And then 3, its nose collapsed, so it can't breathe.
God, put it down.
4, it's got like
Put the dog
its
down.
ears are like scabbing over.
Come
Oh,
on,
and
guys.
it's like-
God.
it's dog, and then I was like, Mom, you gotta take this dog down.
It's
She's like,
melting.
yeah, I was like,
You
she's
gotta
like,
take this dog down.
yeah, take him down.
Take it down.
She's like, no,
Look, he's not
like-
looking at us. You go from behind, I'll go from the side.
She's like, no, he still wants to live. And I'm like, no, this dog is like, he's falling apart, Mom. She's like, no, look. He's drinking water on his own. I'm like, that's not an accomplishment. Like, the fact that it drinks water on its own, she still has to feed it. She
That's
still has to
sad.
hand feed it.
That's so sad.
It's like the most
How old is that dog?
depressingly funny
Like,
story.
it's like 16 years old.
Damn.
And it's a
man.
little dog. It's like, it's this. If you go back and look at the Let's Play with my mom video I did a couple years ago, she's holding the little dog.
I'm
that was
so
like 2
sad
years ago.
and
Our-
amused at the same time.
Our family dog, he's 16. The only health problem he has is he's deaf, which if I was 16 as a dog, I would not mind.
It's also blind.
Come on, dude.
It's also blind.
So it's blind. It's got scabbed ears. Its nose collapsed, and it's got no teeth.
and
Every
its jaw
single-
collapsed,
Chris,
and
it's
it
up,
can't, and it has no control of its bladder.
Chris, you know the right thing to do in this situation.
I'm not gonna.
It's up to you.
I'm not doing that.
Give it your blood.
My
Chris.
mom would. My mom. Here's the deal: my mom would pick the dog over me.
Put its brain in a robot.
I do have a Roomba.
Well, we're at about time.
They also we used to fly to Seattle a lot in the early days of Red versus Blue.
This is how I learned the difference between direct and nonstop.
right.
Was this fucking flight?
Yeah, and that flight they had it direct for a while, then it wasn't direct, and there's a difference between direct and nonstop. Like Gus gonna say.
Yes.
So there
This
was a
has told me many
direct
times.
Austin to Seattle flight that stopped in Dallas. So it's like, oh great, I've got direct Austin to Seattle. Oh right, it's not nonstop. There is a stop, and it's the
Do you
same.
have to get off?
You can if you want, or you can stay on the plane.
I see.
But
And
then you get to choose a seat, right?
no, it's the same flight, so you get this. It's the same seat.
That's stupid.
Yeah. I remember one time they made us get off the plane. Bernie and I were so mad. I think the flight was like at 5:30 in the morning, something fucking stupid early.
Yeah.
Right.
We got on the plane, and we were used to staying on the plane. Like we normally wouldn't get off, and they told us, "Sir, we have, we got to Dallas. They're like, we have a flight crew change, so you need to get off the plane." And we were like, "We always stay on the plane. Just let us sit here and stay on the plane." They're like, "No, sir, you need to get off the plane so the new flight can come on, and then you can get back on the plane."
Let me off. Let me off. Let me off. Let
So
me
we
off.
got
let
off,
me
and Bernie and I were walking through the airport. I said, "What's the biggest, most obnoxious piece of shit we can buy in the airport to take
Right.
it back on the
We're
plane with
mad.
us right now?" And we found these giant ceramic frogs.
Oh my god.
They're like Mexican terracotta frogs with sombreros on, and like real cloth ponchos.
It's
How
like,
big are they?
It was huge. It was like we would carry it on the plane like
And they
this.
sell that beyond security.
They
in the
sell it
airport.
in the airport. Like you're gonna buy that. It's like,
like you're gonna buy that and walk on the plane with it. We're like, yes, let's buy these and get on the fucking plane.
Isn't that more inconvenient for you?
yeah,
that's
but
how
that's
we
part of
did.
the joke. They just walk home with a big ceramic frog.
So now, for years and maybe to this day, we always joke whenever they do cross check. That's our saying. We go cha 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 because the frogs have maracas too.
That's right.
Where are these now?
So whenever you hear, if you ever are flying with me and Bernie and they cross check and we go cha cha cha, it's because of the fucking frogs from the Dallas airport.
They
on
say
the
flight attendants get ready for
cross check.
cross check.
Yeah.
And then Gus and I will, we'll both be like, I'll be on my laptop like this. Gus will be next to me and they go, get ready for cross check. And I go, cross check, cha cha cha. Like it's just like such a force of habit.
Where
It's
are
like I
they?
don't even remember that story. It's like you still cha 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 so frequently, but it's like
I assume Gus has them.
the
We
origins
might have
of
just
it.
left them on
Do you
the
have
plane.
it? Where are
I
they?
think we threw them away. It was like because then it was like, well, these things are so fucking huge.
So you don't want a doctor to pop a finger
I don't want
up there?
anything up my butt.
It's lubed. It's not like it's
I
gonna...
don't. It doesn't matter.
Now you're talking about a prostate exam.
Yeah.
That is different than a colonoscopy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Prostate exam's the finger. Or
I think it's 2.
yeah,
Is it 2?
Yeah.
No,
it's
not.
one.
Because his eyes got super big.
Yahoo, answer it.
It's like...
Wait.
Let's see what Google autocompletes when I type in how many fingers.
No, put it up.
No, we don't want to put that online. Oh God. All right. What? Okay. It says how many fingers? What is?
It's so stupid. I typed in how many fingers.
Good God.
What does it
I
say?
typed in how many fingers, and it auto-completed. This is the #1 search for how many fingers. How many fingers does a person have?
How many fingers does a person
How
have?
many fingers does a person?
Wow.
God, internet, you are so dumb. How many fingers can you fit? And then that doesn't say anything.
Well, there you go.
And how many fingers do cats? How many fingers do cats have?
How many fingers can you fit if you put a space at the end of it? What does that autocomplete?
Yeah.
How many fingers does a person have? Why is that the #1 search for fingers? All right.
So what's the answer?
How many fingers in a prostate? How many
Whoa.
fingers?
Be careful here. The safe search on or
I even
off?
looked up. I said, how many fingers in a? And the autocomplete is how many fingers in a human hand? What is wrong with you? How many fingers in a prostate exam?
People keep asking on Twitter what you found out about Toblerones. They're dying to know.
Two things I need to go back and talk about. What I found out about Toblerones.
Wait, what? Should we guess what you found out about Toblerone?
You're gonna be
slave
disappointed.
labor.
You're never gonna look back. You're never gonna look back.
Bat shit.
What?
Okay,
Thing, you know. some
they're
animals.
not made
Go.
of one really
Yeah.
long Toblerone that's cut up into smaller ones.
What? Oh, you mean there's like it's like one Toblerone that's coming off and they cut off pieces of it?
Yeah.
You're pretty close, actually. Believe it or not.
What?
I'm gonna give you a further hint. Airport Toblerone.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. The duty-free
Yeah.
airport Toblerone.
Yeah, I know what this
It's
is.
not cheaper.
It's
No.
from America.
So the Toblerone that you see in the airports that's this big.
Okay.
They're not all that big.
Do you know that, Gavin?
It's like Toblerone.
The
known
ones
to
you
known.
see at the airport that are like they're massive. I'm holding my hands about like
Well,
2 or 3 feet
you're
apart.
holding. That's just like the medium Toblerone.
What is that? A
'Cause
Toblerone's
there's the super long, the ones that are like Toblerone and on and on and on and
Yeah,
on.
that's
that
funny.
one. Okay, so that
But
one.
you haven't seen that in the airport
I probably haven't.
It's like a Gandalf stick.
Why'd you bring it up then?
because you're like, oh, this one. It's like there's loads of different sizes.
Gavin,
Toblerone.
I'm just talking about the when you see
The
a candy-
big
the big
Toblerone.
one, the big jumbo Toblerone.
Yeah, the medium one.
Medium. Okay, it's bigger than like every other candy bar on the fucking planet. This massive.
The medium Toblerone.
What am I gonna say about it?
It's not a big Toblerone.
It's not a big Toblerone.
What the fuck is this?
That's a big Toblerone, bitch.
That's got to be
That's
Photoshop.
Photoshop. Normally, it's a bunch
You're
of
talking
smaller
about that
Toblerones.
they're all stacked in a.
It's a bunch of small Toblerones in
Yeah,
a big package.
it's like 3 on the bottom and 1 on the top to make the pyramid shape.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
but
fucking horrible.
you can get a big one, is what I'm telling you.
Where that is that Photoshopped? Does that guy really get
That's
that?
a real Toblerone.
no, there's no way he could
that
really have
helps. That helps keep the kid in me alive. 'cause
That would be so heavy.
If I
You
was
would
a
not be
kid and I
holding
got
it
that
like that.
massive Toblerone, I'd be like, oh my god,
What
this is
difference
the
does it
greatest
make
thing
if it's a
ever.
bunch of
And you
Toblerones
open
the
it,
same
and it's a
weight?
bunch of normal ones. That's
in
Photoshop.
fact, that's less gap. That's less air gap
Photoshop.
than a load of. That might be Photoshop.
That's Photoshop.
That's totally photoshopped.
How is it less air gap?
I feel like that chunk would fall
All the
off.
individual candy bars have the gap.
Smaller gap than a big wedge that's this big. Look at all that air.
It's just scaled up.
It's not. Look, if you okay, take the volume of the air in a massive Toblerone and then one of 4
I
Toblerones
bet
stuck
you
to each other.
that
Science.
Toblerone weighs more
It's just
than
scaled.
what the other
because
Toblerones
there's less
would weigh.
air.
What? It weighs more because there's less air? Yes, that is correct.
Why are you laughing? That's true.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense.
Oh,
Yeah, there's less air. So the big one is more value.
heavier,
Right.
right? Wait, what did I say?
You just started arguing against yourself.
So if I have,
Oh, yeah, I meant the other thing. I meant the
so
opposite.
let's work this out. So if I have a dozen donuts
Okay.
and one big fucking donut, does the hole in the middle of all the little donuts add up to the same volume as the hole in the middle of the big donut?
What hole in the middle of the big donut? Oh, it's a big ring donut.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's the other kind of donut.
But that's not. It's not something you can quantify in that way. It depends on who made it.
A Toblerone, they all have the standard gap. It's a standard gap in there.
Yeah,
and they
the,
just scale it up. So if you're filling up the space with Toblerones, then you're making like essentially the same volume of Toblerone air to chocolate ratio.
I just think
The
there's
only
bigger-
difference is the difference in the packaging that ends up inside of it.
I look forward to the weekly questions answered from the podcast
I'm
article.
sticking with this one.
I'm with you, Bernie.
Sticking
I
with it.
cannot wait for someone else to do the research and do the math.
Get that
and tell us.
fucker. What's his name? Get the guy. Like get some Toblerone and start measuring.
Look up
Get
the
some
longest
calipers.
Toblerone you can buy as well.
Get that little.
Longest
The largest.
Toblerone I can buy.
Is the question still on the table as to whether that huge one is actually a real thing or not? Is that
Yes.
something up for debate?
Have you seen the massive Toblerone?
No.
Okay.
I feel like they would have to have a specialty machine to make that big of Toblerone.
Which
I'm
there's lots like that. That's what you see at the airport. That's a fucking lie.
That's,
I'm
that's a
gonna-
medium Toblerone.
Well, there's actually a smaller one below
I would
it.
venture to say that that's not real. The giant one.
So, what is the second thing about Toblerone that you don't like?
Slave labor.
I don't think there was two things about. What was
Oh
this?
my God,
Oh.
that's real.
What?
No, what is this?
Photoshop.
This can't be right.
Order me if there's a giant Toblerone. I'm gonna order it
There
tomorrow.
is a giant Toblerone.
There's a
It's
giant
big
10-pound
novelty,
Toblerone bar.
obnoxious Toblerone.
Is
You
that
can
what's
get
in
them
that
around
package? Because in that package is a bunch of smaller Toblerones.
I don't
At
believe
the
this
airport,
website.
but if you go into Martin's or something,
What's Martin?
it's the local newsagent in the town I grew up
We
in.
got a waitress. So what was? I don't think I said there's two things I don't like about Toblerone.
You did.
Two things I don't like about Toblerone.
Yeah, what was the second
Largest
thing?
Toblerone in production.
I'm gonna go back
Order
and
it.
list
Takes
that.
weeks to consume.
Order it.
80 centimeters. What's that in inches?
8 centimeters is,
5.
well,
It
an
is
eighth of a meter.
31 inches.
It's 31
inches.
tenths of a meter.
So slightly less than 3 feet.
I'm gonna buy this.
Oh my God, you're my hero. Are you really? How much is it?
$110.
How do you go about eating that though? You just like
You'll find
Take a
out.
bite?
See it on Sunday.
We're gonna find out on Monday
Yeah,
when we have it on the
people-
you
podcast.
chisel it.
Did I say there's two things I don't like about Toblerone?
You said there were two
Toblerones
things.
that I don't like about Toblerone.
Yeah.
Fuck a duck. I
Unless
think I
they
might
were-
say there's two things.
And one of them's Toblerone.
One of them is Toblerone.
So you won't eat a mini bar Toblerone because they're smaller
I
in
don't
the
like
airport?
Toblerone. It's like got little.
God damn it.
I actually don't like it. Such an idiot. This is such a stupid conversation.
You don't even like them anyway.
I don't.
Order it. Order it. Can't stand it.
I just like the little bits. That's like two. It's
The
like
little noogs.
yeah, it gets stuck
The little
everywhere.
noogie nugs.
Little toffee bits or whatever it is.
Order placed.
I'd be interested to know, like, which company has the most storage in the world. Hey, it's got to be Google, right?
I don't know about that.
Tupperware.
You'd be surprised, like
Tupperware.
Stupid.
the co-location facility where we have our servers. I went. Wasn't that funny?
That was funny to me, man.
How many bones are in your head?
All of them.
You're red.
Thanks. I have kept all of my bones in my head.
Like, you're talking about like your skull, your
You
jaw.
got 32 teeth. You can't teeth as bones?
Well, yeah, no. Well, the ear
Damn it.
bones.
Yeah, no.
Wait, Gilbert. You got 32 teeth.
They're not
You got a
bones, though, really.
jawbone.
Yeah.
You got plates in your head. I think you got like 5 or 6 of those.
And the jaw isn't the skull.
It is too. Why not? What wouldn't it be?
Well, it's a different bone, isn't it?
Then the skull?
Well, skull's a bone.
Gavin,
could jaw
if
be
it's
a-
one bone is the skull, then the answer to your question is 1. How about that?
What do you mean?
Because you're drawing these fucking arbitrary. You guys, how many bones are in your skull? And I said the jaw. I go, well, it's not a different bone than the skull. So if there's only one skull bone, then your answer to your question is fucking 1.
So the jaw's
You're
not
s-
a part of the skull.
You're splitting.
I'm asking you if the skull.
You said it's a different bone.
the jaw's a different bone to the skull.
Are you asking
It-
about the
okay,
head?
So if
or
you're
just
saying
the
it's a different
skull?
bone than to the skull, then the skull is its own bone. So the answer to your question is how many bones are in the skull? 1. Because all the other bones are different than the skull bone. All of them. Including the jaw, including the fucking teeth.
So a skull, when you hold a skull, you're holding the head minus the lower teeth and jaw.
So you're specifically eliminating the teeth and the
No,
the lower
bottom
teeth.
teeth.
No, just the bottom teeth.
Why are- why-
Don't be stupid, Bernie.
But why are you getting rid of that? Like I understand why you get rid of all the neck bones because you're saying it's the head part. But
What
why
neck
would you
bones
get
are
rid of
you
the
talking about?
jawbone?
Spine.
Why are you drawing the line?
I think the reason, if I may interject on Gavin's behalf, I think the reason he draws the line there is because the lower jaw is only connected through connective tissue. So if you lose that tissue and just go down to bone, the lower jaw falls away.
Aren't all your teeth the same way then too?
No.
Why?
Teeth are lodged in the bone of the skull and the jaw.
I believe he is correct.
Well, they are in there, but they're like held. They're held in place
they're not
by
bones.
connective tissue. The roots of the teeth hold them in.
Well,
Yeah, you need to define this a little better, Gavin. I'm trying to help you
You
out
tell
here.
me. You tell me.
I was just asking if you have a skull.
What's the answer you're looking for? We'll agree.
If you have a skull,
I have a skull.
you're just holding the top layer of teeth and the rest of the head.
Okay, so you're saying let's get rid of the jaw. You're saying it's not.
I'm saying
it
that's
doesn't
not the
count.
skull.
Okay, so you have 16 teeth in the top of your mouth.
Well, you're so obsessed with the teeth.
Because you're asking me, Gavin, you're asking me how many bones are in my skull, and then I'm counting them for you. I'm doing exactly what you're asking
Why
me
are
to.
you so obsessed with the bones?
I'm doing. Why are you so busy counting? I'm doing exactly what you asked me to do. You asked me how. I'm trying to go along with you.
said how
And
many
you're,
bones in
you're
that-
stopping me every
said how
step
many
of the
bones in
way.
that.
Fighting you like you're stupid for trying to figure it out.
Why?
You don't classify teeth as a bone?
You just said all the teeth. I even asked you at the beginning of this. You count the teeth, and you said no, yes, no. So okay, let's go over this one more
Well,
time.
I was thinking.
How many bones are in the skull?
No. The skull's a bone. How many bones in that? How many bones are in the head?
Does your head include your jaw?
Your head has to include your.
You get
Oh
to count. No.
So now we're counting the lower jaw.
If you talk about the head,
You said the head.
that's what I was trying to find out. Was
You're mental.
whether if you had a skull, would you have the lower teeth? And I guess you wouldn't because.
That's not all this is about.
Is that really what it's all about?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure it out. Oh my god! But I guess the skull is only the top teeth
Oh my god.
and all the rest of the head. And that.
Oh my god. Why'd you ask it that way then?
I was
hey,
just-
Gus, how many bones are in your feet? Because I want to know if you're wearing shoes. How many? Why did you ask that? Why didn't you ask?
It was an evolving question. Like the more you talk, the more questions I had.
It was not an evolving question.
No, in my head, I was just like coming up with more questions to it. Because then I was thinking about the bones in your ear. Are they in your head? And yeah,
You mean all the little bones in your inner
like
ear?
the stirrup.
Yeah. So you count that.
Yeah, I
even
was
though
just wondering how many bones are in your head. And then I was like, is the skull to your jaw as well? Is that separate?
Well, now I'm wondering. So if you have a skull, like say a person, and you just
Decapitate it.
set them in a chair,
Right.
and they die, Ugh. And then they rot away, and you come back in like 3 years, and they're just a skeleton sitting there. They're just a skeleton sitting in the chair, and then you take the skull, whether or not the spine comes with it, and the neck and the jawbone, teeth doesn't matter. Are the little bones in the ear? Can you like rattle it and knock those things out? Could you like
Yeah.
shake those
Would
out?
they fall out?
I
don't
didn't
know.
hear
I
a
don't-
single thing you said after
Like, what's
you
the
made that death
cochlea?
impression.
I think there's three.
That's
in
not
the-
a bone.
There's 3 ear bones, right? And one of them's the
What is this? Like cartilage?
I think so. Yeah.
one of them's the smallest bone in the head, in the body.
The
right?
stirrup?
Yeah. And there's 3 bones in your ear.
I think so. I don't know the other ones. I know the stirrup
Anvil, right? The anvil's
Anvil.
one.
and the drum. I used to know this. That's like
The baton.
Just
I think
put
it's like
this-
fourth grade science.
Put this conversation to bed. Google how many bones are in a head.
How many bones are in your head? It's gonna be like people arguing.
Take the head off the top of the spine.
How
This
many?
is going to be evidence in a trial. Your Honor, I submit that Mr. Burns performed a Google search asking how many bones are in the head.
Dan, it was unbelievable. We went out to dinner. We went to a really nice dinner on New Year's Eve night. Okay, it was Ashley, my girlfriend Ashley, Gavin, and Dan. And
Lovely meal.
lovely meal, lovely time.
You and a
Dan-
bunch of women. Nice.
Well, it was yeah, right, exactly. Dan's actually a burly, big dude. He's a big
yeah?
military dude, yeah. But I guess ironically, he decided that these tickets, or what we paid for the seats at dinner, I guess he assumed that like everything was all inclusive. So he busts out the cocktail menu and he decides to order like in a row every girly drink on the menu. And Dan can pack it away, dude. He must have had what, 10 drinks, 12 drinks?
Easily, yeah.
And I mean, some of them were so like crazy. They were big fish bowls with like glowing ice cubes.
Yeah, the
in
ice
them.
cubes are flashing.
They were flashing, like LED.
Classic.
Was it like a prefix menu?
Yes, exactly
okay,
right.
and then- okay.
And our courses were set and all that, and
Okay,
so
okay.
and it was really nice.
Fucking rookie mistake.
Yeah, it was definitely. And then the bill came, and I said, "Whoa!" I said, "Dan, look how much all your stuff was." And then he gets it, he goes like this, and he just like fucking color rained out of him, just like turned white as she's like, And then he told another story about how he doesn't understand menus, and I thought it was a joke that he was making.
Every interaction between him and a waitress takes forever.
It
'cause
does.
He just confuses them, and then there's like a ring of confusion where she's explaining it back to him, but he's not listening.
Yeah.
He's trying to mix meals. We once at a Mexican restaurant, he tried to order the burrito fajitas or something. He was like trying to mix it all around. And he was like, no, but do you want this? Or wait, do you want this as an appetizer? And he's like, no, idiot, no. I want, like, wait. And also, no, take the onions out of this as well. I don't want that. And then I want this with this. And he got to the point where the waiter was just like, I'm sorry, and he walked off and someone else came.
That waiter has a podcast and he's telling that story right now.
It's just unbelievable.
The next day, and then he told another story about how he went to McDonald's and he didn't understand the menus are vertical columns, so he just read straight across. He goes, I want a Big Mac Chicken Legend Sundae.
And the person's like, which one? You want the Big Mac or the Chicken Legend? He's like, no. The Big Mac chicken. Oh.
He just keeps reading.
God.
We went to
What did you think that was?
I don't know.
In his mind, he's like, that sounds good.
How far is he going to read?
What did he imagine that the Big Mac Chicken
Legend milkshake apple juice?
The next day, we went out to this restaurant in Mandalay Bay. It said, I've probably shown you this place. It's the restaurant where everything is white. The walls are white, the decorations are white,
like
the tables
the
are
top
white.
of the hotel, right?
It's got, the bar is really cool. Like, we had a way up view of the top of the stratosphere.
That was the only thing that
Yeah, the drinking glasses are red for some reason there. Weird. So we're ordering food there, and I'm buying them dinner. This is after the New Year's Eve night when he spent, and I picked up his drinks, which is why he felt obligated to pay me back, which is really very nice, but not necessary.
Although also 200, way not enough.
He had like $350 worth of drinks. I think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was just.
Shit.
He was
like
like,
keep the like glowing ice cubes or anything?
They took a bunch of pictures with him on
It looked
Instagram.
like you were drinking a sunset. It was really
drinking a sunset.
I took a picture actually of the receipt. I can read you some of the names of the drinks.
I have a video because I knew it was going to be horrendous. Because you said before the bill came, he's like, "You need to drink something free." And he's like, "What?" So I've got a video of you. I've got a video of you opening the bill and being like, "Oh." It's a great video.
Look at this. Here's a picture of the bill. It's how long Dan's drinks.
Holy crap! Hold on, what's that stamp say? Gratuity included?
Yeah. Upcharge. He had a Last Tango, a Blue Teeny, a Mango Madness, a Razgito. And then even to the end of the meal, when I knew he didn't know he was paying for all of his drinks, we were like, did the waiter say, "You want coffee?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll have a coffee." And Jinx goes, "I'll have a coffee too." And Gab's like, "No, I'm fine." And Dan goes, "I'll have an Irish coffee." And I'm like, "Sure, what the fuck? Give me an Irish coffee. Why don't we do that?" The next night, we go to this white restaurant where everything's all white, and we're ordering. Dan is trying to order his food, and he gets in an argument with the waitress. Like he's like, "I want scallops, the appetizer, and we want this. What do you have for the thing? A steak.
Something.
Yeah, a pot roast
There
thing."
were no scallops appetizers.
There was no scallop appetizer. Another dinner. And she's like, "So do you want scallops or thing?" He ends up ordering 2 dinners. 2 dinners he gets. And he's like
Everyone gets like a tiny little petite appetizer. Like, "Oh yeah." He gets a big plate of it. He's like, "Yeah."
They brought an entree out as an appetizer?
They just brought it in his
They
place.
brought him a dinner as an appetizer.
And to be fair to the waitress, she was very cool and patient with him. It was like, "Yeah, all right, yeah," went off. And then Dan went to piss. The waitress came back, and you were like, "So he ordered 2 meals, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is."
Oh my god. She probably thought you guys were like hobbits. It's like you get a second dinner. Amazon delivered something to me the other day. I'm trying to fix my computer. Computer does this thing where it just shuts off. I'm just doing something, it shuts off.
That one?
Shuts off. No, my desktop at home.
Oh.
What does it do?
It shuts off, Barb. Like you're sitting there using it and then it shuts off.
Blue screen or just
No.
Just turns right off?
It just shuts off.
Does it shut on?
Nope. Off. That's the only thing it does.
And what are you doing when this happens?
It's working.
Okay.
And then suddenly it shuts off. Okay. So I have diagnosed, I think it's a heat problem. So I'm in the process of pulling out.
Why do you think it's a heat problem?
Well, because I think the CPU gets overheated and it shuts itself off. Hence the shut off.
Why do they do that though? Do they just thermal throttle and stay on?
Thermal throttle? Thermal throttle?
Yeah,
I think the problem is the thermal throttling is not working, which would be the heat sink. So therefore, it shuts off.
I don't think that's why it's turning
That's the ultimate thermal throttle, really.
Right.
If you think about it.
Then you completely go from 60 to no throttle.
Who is this? In chat, Let Music Ring is asking, what does your computer do?
It shuts off. Shuts off.
I don't think that's it. I don't think it's anything to do with heat.
It's probably heat.
Yeah,
Why is it heat?
It's definitely heat.
Why?
Because that's how it manifests itself.
How does it manifest?
It shuts off.
Okay, you want to know the worst thing that can happen to a man ever? Talking about unnatural feelings.
ahead.
Okay, go on.
You took your Viagra and you vomited.
So I've had some issues, medical issues, and boy, when you get old, it's fun. So I had to have a scoping of my bladder. I've had to have a lot of fun.
scoping?
A scoping of your bladder.
What is that?
That's when they take a camera and they put it into your bladder.
How did they get it there?
Oh, Blaine, how did they get the camera in? How did they get the camera in there? If you ask me, I'd rather they just stab me in my heart and then inject it through that, but that's not how they do it, apparently. How they do it is you go into the room, and there are these things hanging from the wall that are the most horrible things you've ever seen in your life. And then there's a chair, and the chair is horrible, too.
The stirrups?
And then there's like, there wasn't stirrups, but there could have been. And then there was like a blanket, and the blanket thing, and then you sit down in the chair, and then a guy comes in the room. He goes, "All right, you have to take your pants off now, or the blanket." And you go, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Are you allergic to iodine?" And I'm like, "Well, I haven't even met you before." And then they put iodine on your things. And then the doctor comes in later, and then he goes, "Hey, did you see that basketball game last night?" And that's where they have you, because that's where they've started the lie. Once the doctor starts the lie, you're like, "Oh, yes, doctor, I did see the basketball." Boom. And that's when they go in for the kill.
Wait, are they?
That's when they go in for the kill. Like, "Oh, yes, I have a thought." Like he's tricking you, like he's distracting you. It's like, "Oh, I'm interested in basketball." Biggest pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Biggest pain you've ever. The first guy was like, "Look, I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't going to be great. But it's not as bad as you think it's going to be." But here's the thing. Those fuckers, and I've had to do this multiple times now.
What?
Yeah, I've had to do this multiple times now because everyone just thinks it's funny to send you all spending money on medical bills. So I've had to do this multiple times. The first time was after passing kidney stones, which is already the most painful goddamn thing you could ever do in your life. And after you pass kidney stones, there's parts of your internal organs that are a little bit raw. And then after they're a little bit raw, then they stick medical equipment past the same area.
Okay, so to be clear, we're talking about the urethra.
That's painful. That's painful.
They're just sticking it in the
At that time I went, it was like literally a week. I was walking around like, for like a week. And I was like, this is where, and I knew I had to go back.
This is
So I went back, and I was like, this is going to be horrible. This is going to be horrible. And it was bad. And they're going, and it's like drilling for oil. And they're like, "Don't worry. As soon as we hit to the fracking stage, it won't be as bad." And so they get to like that sediment layer, and it's still bad, but it's not as bad. And you're like, "Okay." And the funny thing is, too, the doctor's like, "You're going to have the urge to tighten up. And don't do that." And of course, like your body's like, "Ugh!" Because it's like something is probing inside of you, and your body's like, "Get it out!" Like all your muscles, like that's why you have ass muscles and muscles in your groin. The only reason for all those muscles is like, "Get it out of me."
Yeah, and you have to tell your muscles
they don't work backwards.
"Buddy, trust me,
So
this
he's
is
like,
okay."
"Ugh," and I'm just like, "Okay." I mean, that is like you have to have the mental capacity of a Jedi Knight. To
Is
like,
that what they train for?
Yeah, to like, breathe. So I'm like breathing. And fuck you, people who give birth. "Oh, giving birth to children is so hard." No, fuck you, it's not. Okay? What men have to go through. Let me tell you something about mathematical ratios. Okay, it's this big. It's this big, and it's not meant to get bigger. You guys are meant to get big. You're flowers. You bloom. You fuckers are flowers. We are not fucking flowers. We're fucking sticks. You know what stick is inside another stick. That's not where sticks are supposed to go. No one goes, "Hey, there's a stick. Let's put a stick inside of it." That's against nature. That's against nature. So, God damn it.
Did you pop the Viagra before, just make it easier, so they just go like straight
That's
line?
the other thing. That's the other thing too. Is like I'm thinking to myself, man, these fuckers have to sit there and do this shit to people all fucking day long. That's their job. It's like, "Oh, here comes another thing. We gotta stick a stick in it. And I gotta explain to the stick that's not gonna be fun."
Microsoft updated the content usage rules for how you can use Halo. But that actually happened a while ago. But for whatever reason, people just found out about it today. And one of the biggest things that's listed in there is that you can't use Microsoft games that are developed by Microsoft, like Viva Pinata, Halo,
Forza.
I don't know if Fable's on there, but I think that it would be on there.
No, Fable's on there. It's
Fable's
pretty much
on there?
all their Xbox or their Microsoft Studios games.
And then you can use them to make content, and you should read the rules if you're going to do that. But you can use them to make content, but you can't monetize them through DVD sales, or now they've spelled out YouTube advertisements as well, or website advertisements. I think that there's carved out in there that you can do a donation link, so people can donate directly to your project, which makes me wonder if that would include Kickstarter as well. I don't know. It's always hard to keep up with the way the internet changes and funds things.
That being said, we're all okay.
So we get pounded a lot with that, like saying, "Oh, does that mean that you guys can't make Red vs. Blue anymore because it's on YouTube?" But the rules before also spelled out that you couldn't sell DVDs and merchandise. Obviously, we were able to do that. So we obviously have a different relationship, and they just put out a statement where they talked about us and they talked about Machinima, is that we have commercial agreements with Microsoft that allow us to do that. So we appreciate your concern, but we're okay.
You're still gonna see Fails of the Week. You're still gonna see Horse every week. You're still gonna see Red versus Blue.
Yeah, it'll still be there.
Thank God, Fails
Thank
and Horse
God.
are taken care of. Woo! And also Red versus Blue.
Yeah, and that
whatever.
other show that the other half of the
Listen,
company
dude,
does.
Fails how many episodes and how many views now?
God, we're at like 104, maybe more than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
God, 107. I don't know. We've done Fails so long now.
Don't go Jake making jokes over there, Cirola.
Yeah, there you go. What's up?
I'm about to start making jokes because Gavin's stuck in the beer bottle.
Your finger's stuck
He's
in
trying
the
to be
beer bottle.
super nonchalant about it. But
About 5 minutes ago, I jammed my finger in this beer bottle and
Is
it's
that
just
re-
not coming out.
It's turning red. His finger is turning red.
No, I've got it.
Oh my God.
I was trying to do it slyly, but now I'm just gonna. Now everyone knows I'm gonna try.
Are you legitimately stuck?
Nah.
Twist it.
Oh my God.
Did it.
That made a great pop.
Gavin got his
was
finger
good.
stuck in a bottle of beer.
Wow.
What are you drinking there?
Why would you
And-
stick your finger in there, you
I
idiot?
don't know. Jack was saying words. I had to keep
Wait, I was
myself
saying
in sync.
words, and that. So if I start talking again, you're gonna do. Oh, your hand was right over it again. You almost did it again. So if I just start talking, at some point you're gonna get yourself caught in there.
Iris and her dad, Mikey Jones.
Wearing a little Achievement Hunter shirt.
The cute cast.
Oh. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
you want a handheld? Hey, how you doing? You want to talk?
Yo.
Yeah. Give us all your thoughts and feelings.
Chuck it.
Oh wow.
This is the cutest thing ever.
Oh my god.
Nice, gentle.
This isn't a typical podcast.
Look at this. Look at this.
This,
Oh my god.
They're
this is
communicating.
going to be the highest viewed podcast of all time.
They're communicating.
Oh, she's in love with that cat.
can't handle it.
Loves cats.
Come over and see the kitty?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Iris, did you hear that Tumblr banned adult content?
I think our friend Finch said it best when he said, "No more Cumbler."
Keep it clean.
Over there, yeah, the cat might hear you.
Give him a little pet. Oh no.
So my goal with cats always is to try to hold them as much as possible.
It's happening.
You can pet the kitty.
Oh,
You want to pet him on the head?
gosh.
Little fingers. You pet him up here on the head.
Oh my gosh.
He's orange.
Are they about the same age?
No,
like
he's
in cat years.
I don't know. He's 9 weeks now.
I feel like we should all just take the day off.
Watching Iris navigate now
I'm
that she
done.
knows how to
Hey,
walk.
Iris, do you know how to do a Blue Apron read? So I'm just gonna take off if that's the case. I don't need
This
to
is
be.
great. This is great for the audio listeners. They hear, hi.
I think she wants to pet you, Bernie.
No, she's all about that cat.
Oh my gosh.
she loves
It's
it.
funny.
All right.
She's like making eye contact with it. She wants to.
This is gonna be
to
tough
look
to
at.
end this.
Yeah.
I can already tell.
I'm just cool with like an hour and a half of this.
Yeah.
Are there any like
Bush, you're doing a great job.
ASMR videos
All right.
that are just like
Bye, Iris.
little kids meeting cats?
Oh, they have a relationship. She's saying goodbye.
This is not a good time of year for her to learn to hate men with gray beards.
Oh, I'm terrible with cats. You don't want to give me the
Is it
cat.
true?
Yep.
What does that mean, terrible with cats?
I'm like, they could sense my
sir.
fear and they always scratch
Hello.
me.
Oh no, she's crying now.
Oh no.
Give her the cat back.
Yeah. Here, look.
She stopped instantly.
He's right here. Oh, you're stuck in my little jeans.
Here,
Keep the
cat. Look at it.
This is the weirdest form of birth control for me right now.
I want to see that.
Are you not a cat person either?
No, I like tiny cute things.
Bye, Iris. So good to see you. I got that. Remember that TV I was describing that's in the wall?
Yeah.
I'm
Where the
reaching my
Xbox-
limit.
The Xbox controller doesn't reach
Gavin,
through the wood.
I'm at my limit with that TV. I've got to do something about it.
I'll take it.
It's a projection TV. So there's a lot behind the wall. There's like a big thing.
You got a rear projection?
It's a rear projection TV. It doesn't have an HDMI port on it.
Is it old?
It's been built. Well, yeah, it's a little bit older. It was built when the house was built. It was put in the wall. And the house is like 5 years
Why
old.
you just replace the TV?
Because it's in the wall. It's like I got to find a TV that's that size. It's in the wall. It's in it.
Could you not adjust the size of the hole?
You don't need that depth. Just cover it. Just cover the hole. Are you saying it's not going to take up all the space in the wall?
What?
I think you're blowing his mind, Gavin.
But
don't
no,
think
I
he's
don't
considered
understand.
this.
I legitimately
You
don't
just get like
You're
an
saying I should
arm,
hang it in front of the hole?
right? Like, right. You get like an arm that articulates out and then covers up the hole. You don't need to cover all the
Just
depth.
put it over the hole. What do you mean?
He's saying hang it over the hole. You're saying put an arm. There's no hole. There's nothing to put the arm on because it's a hole.
There's got to be a stud back there.
So wait.
Yeah, really far.
Wait, so
Right,
there's a
and that's why the
hole-
arm is for.
There's a hole in the wall, and then it just drops down to the floor?
Yes. It's like a set of cabinets.
Wait.
And it's the back side of the cabinet. I'm going to take a picture of this so you guys can understand this.
Just put another TV there.
I think you can just put a TV
The
in
TV's like 3 feet deep. Not
It
quite.
doesn't matter. It's like putting a blind on a window.
A window with no glass in it. Yeah, sure. You want to say that? It's a fucking hole.
there. You just cover it.
What's that?
Just cover it.
It's a big TV.
Well, how big? 100 inches?
No.
It's 65 inches?
Yes, I believe it
Get a
is.
70-inch TV. Job
You
done.
know, it's got to
You'll
be the
never know.
exact size, because then otherwise it would
You
be
don't
too
hang it
big.
from the top like a goddamn picture on the wall, Gavin. You got to hang it from the middle.
You
No,
go to, give me
put
a
it on-
Costco. You can get like a 65-inch TV for
There's
like
a ledge,
$900.
right? There's a ledge.
Ledge for what?
There's a wall with a hole in it. At some point, the wall ends, and there's a hole. Right?
Right.
Where that ends, that's where you put your TV.
That's the screen. Listen, listen to me, you British fuck. You're imagining a TV that looks like TVs today, where it's a square and that's the entire TV. This is not that. This has a base.
Can Ashley send you a photo? Can we see what this looks
I
like?
don't want to get her involved.
There's
with
a
this.
base?
You don't want her to know there's a solution.
Yeah, of course, it's a projection TV, so there's a base. Yes.
Well, okay,
That
a
goes
projection
to the
TV
floor.
to me is a screen, and behind it, there's some gubbins that project.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I see what you're saying.
Wait.
He's right.
Explain it in English to me.
It's the bottom part.
Right.
It's
That
everything
goes to
else
the floor.
under the TV that supports it. Like think about a rear projected television that has all like the shelf that it sits on. All of that would just be left gaping open if you replaced
Right.
it. You would have
Behind the wall.
You would have to build another mini wall at the bottom
Or
or
a
something,
shelf.
or
a
shelf
table
or something.
for it to
Right.
stand on.
Okay.
And then if you see beyond the TV, you got this table that I built. Looks like shit.
The hole is way too big for any
why
TV.
did
It's not a
he-
16 by 9 hole. It's a whatever. It's a fucked up size.
No, you lost me on that. It's a 16 by 9 hole. It is.
Right, but the hole's bigger because there's space under the TV.
No. That part's behind the wall.
Then you're fine. Then you're fine.
That part
I was with you. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I understand that. And then he was like, yeah. No, that's not the
He
issue at all.
changed it. He changed it.
It's not hard
You've
to
got
figure.
a TV-sized hole
Yes.
to put a TV over.
Right.
So put a TV
But
on
the
it.
hole is deep. It's really
It
deep.
doesn't matter if it's deep. Just have a hole.
If it's completely covered, who cares?
Nah.
Just put nothing there.
Nah. You guys are lunatics.
This is so frustrating.
It doesn't make any
Plus,
sense what
how
you're
do I
saying.
I gotta figure out how to get this TV out of this hole in the wall, which was built.
Put one hand over here.
They didn't
One hand
put-
over here.
You gotta see this thing.
And
They
just-
didn't put a TV there and then build a house around
They
it.
They
probably
might
put-
have done that. They might have done that.
They definitely didn't.
They might have done it.
That's not how houses work. So is the TV on the foundation? Is it through the floor?
Might be.
It's attached. They put concrete there.
You mean like did they
Right.
pour
Thousands of-
cement and wedge it in?
Thousands of years from now, archaeologists are gonna find it. It's gonna be like like the pyramids are for us nowadays.
I feel like you guys are making fun of me.
Right.
Get
feel like
a
we got that.
78-inch TV, put it over the hole.
Video.
So listen, this dolphin thing really makes me super sad. We gotta give up on the fucking selfie thing. Like there's people who have posted photos with them and that fucking dolphin.
Right.
I would
On their
be
social media stuff and their
Well, even
Facebooks
still,
or whatever.
poaching is still way worse than selfies.
Why is poaching worse?
Because more dolphins die of that than getting selfied.
Okay, well, I mean, if you had to
Selfie to
pitch,
death.
you had to pick why a dolphin dies. You had to pick it. You would
saying,
rather one dolphin dies because people wanted a bunch of fucking selfies with
saying
it.
eliminating
a
the
baby
selfie.
dolphin too.
Eliminating the selfie won't save dolphin lives.
It would have saved that one.
One dolphin. I mean, it's
Okay.
sad, but it's like
Gavin,
there's still
you're
people
right.
killing
So let me
dolphins
give
all the
some
time.
advice to our
In
podcast
fishing nets.
listeners. Hey, we got to stop the selfie thing and all the poaching that we're all doing.
No,
so
yeah, no,
if
no,
you could,
I think-
after the podcast, if you could just not poach, thanks.
I think Gavin's advice is
Who the fuck do you think is listening to our podcast? There's some dude on the
How
fucking
often does this
fishing
show-
boat outside of fucking Tokyo going, oh man, he really got to me
I
on
really
that
wanna-
one.
I wanna
Gavin's advice
selfie
is
this
fucking
argument.
asshole.
take all the dolphin selfies you want as long as they're still poaching. That's what you're saying.
Wait, how did you get that?
I'm
from
That's
selfieing
what you're
this
saying.
argument.
You're saying the selfie thing doesn't matter as long as they're still poaching. So people fucking kill dolphins. Take them
No,
out of the
so
water.
how many
Take a
dolphins
selfie.
died of selfies?
At least one. The one we're fucking
Right,
talking
but do you need a
about.
mass message about one case? Probably not.
Do you want to
you
tell
wanna
our
stop
audience to
poaching?
not poaching?
Yeah.
You're gonna tell our audience not poaching? Our audience can stop doing dumb selfie shit. They can't stop poaching because they're not
I just
fucking
feel like
poaching.
not many things are getting hurt by that
But-
compared to like giant trawling fishing nets.
So you're saying telling everyone to not eat meat.
I'm not saying anything.
All right, fair play.
I
All
just
right.
got this stick.
Do you have the
that's all-
photo of my fucking stupid TV, which doesn't even matter now?
It's a video.
The video?
All right, see, I'm pulling it up.
They're pulling it up.
Okay, jerks. This is what I'm talking about. Here's the TV. It is a projection TV. It goes directly into the wall. They built the wall perfectly around the TV. There's the fucking cord that I have to use to play Xbox. This is it. And it's a projection TV, so it goes in and then goes down. And so there's a hole. There's a gigantic hole right there. I can't hang a TV over a hole. Do you agree with me?
You can't mount a TV to a hole.
Jerks.
Yeah, you just take it out.
If
I still don't
I gotta
understand.
say, control room. If after all of this, if that played without audio, it's on you at this point. It took 3 hours to get you that file, and there's 12 of you guys in there. There's 12 people in there. I gotta know. I gotta hear from the audience on Twitter whether or not that played with sound, because we
no
cannot
way
hear the
it
sound. If that had no sound, that's it. I'm gone.
You still got
I'm
to
out.
see this though.
I'm leaving. All right, the audience is on Twitter. They are very sorry about the poaching, Gavin, and they will stop immediately. Poaching dolphins.
Well, all of our audience, think about the difference we just made. Millions of people are going to stop poaching
Gus,
dolphins
we
now.
reduced poaching in our audience 100% with this
We saw it
podcast.
dive to 0. We really made a difference today.
I feel like you both know what my point was.
Just
Your
got a
point is
message.
stupid. We know what your point was. Yeah, we're not saying we don't know what it was. We're saying your point's dumb, Gavin.
Just
thought
got
it
a
was
message
fine
from
point.
the Rooster Teeth Dallas Fort Worth community group. They have canceled their seal clubbing event for this weekend, thanks to Gavin and his messaging. So good for you guys.
Wow.
Sorry to ruin all your fun. Baby seals deserve to live too. Yep, no audio. No audio. They played it without audio.
Edit in after the fact. When it goes public, they'll hear it. When it goes public, they'll hear it.
No, but this conversation should be left in.
This conversation will be left in. You will know that we did not hear it.
And the sponsors who paid money got the no audio version.
Well, it'll be the rare version, the audio excluded.
It's a moment of solidarity where our sponsors can say, I was there.
What are
when-
we doing
when-
here? What are we doing?
It's an audio podcast.
Play a video.
There was really on the audio podcast. That's like a minute of just nothing.
There was a minute. You think they can hear it?
No, they definitely can't.
No, I
They're
can hear
muting it.
No, it's muted.
We're all doing great.
That was the video.
and
also
also
like-
people are taking selfies with Barbara now
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Well,
I selfie the selfie argument.
what we learned from that video, when there is audio on it, is that video didn't show us anything.
That
really.
video is very descriptive. It shows you TV goes into the wall and goes down.
This is exactly what you told us on the podcast.
That's
though.
exactly right, Barbara.
But
That's
it still doesn't explain why you can't just take it out.
Because you can't cover a hole with a TV. You
yes,
can't just
you can.
That TV looks like it covered the hole. Its edges came out over the lip.
because it goes all the way to the ground. I'm not going to buy another TV that goes all the way to the
Are
ground.
you
arm
talking? It doesn't have a
that's
thing for the
mounted.
stand.
I'm mounted on what?
The stud behind it in the wall.
There's no stud there.
Why is there no stud?
How
They
does that?
carved it out to put the TV
But
in the
there's
wall.
a wall somewhere. What's the back end go up to?
The back of a cabinet behind it on the other side of the wall.
Okay, there you go.
So what is?
I don't know, mount an arm to that, the back of a flimsy little
Yeah.
back of a cabinet.
What's the current TV hooked up to then? How is it floating there?
Barbara, I
It's-
can't
it's
explain
on
this
a- it's
anymore.
on a-
I can't explain this.
I got that part. I got that part. It's like a big projection TV. It's older, so it's got like a big base and a stand.
Okay, so why don't you get a?
TV goes into the wall and then goes down all the way to the floor.
So it has a
this.
big long stand that.
Yes.
No, Barbara, we're done with that. We're done with that. We know it has that.
I'm finally understanding.
Say,
Barbara gets it.
I'm
say
finally
you get
getting it.
an 80-inch TV. You
Just-
get one of those bar mounts that goes flat on the wall, and you drill that over the.
Yeah, you could get a stand like what we have our TVs on
So
here.
I
and
put it
that in
over the
wall.
cabinet.
Yeah, why not?
Like drill into the cabinet. Well, I could do that. I mean, I could drill it to the cabinet, but that would seems like it's very insecure because it's like decorative.
Yeah, you could
wood.
stick one of these posts in your wall
Yeah,
and just
get a
mount it
big
to that.
stand.
Just put it on a C stand.
I mean, I just don't want to talk.
These
to
posts
anybody.
are really good. That's what they're intended for.
Or take out the TV, get a nice picture.
This is the first time ever I've ever looked at the clock. So we had half an hour left, and I was disappointed. But I have to spend another half an hour with you fucking people.
Is this the most mad you've been though on a podcast?
What's that?
No.
Gavin, I'm just disappointed.
I almost saw his
wanna
iPod
talk
that
about
one
it?
time.
I'm not mad. I'm just
Everything
disappointed.
okay?
I'm upset about the dolphin and the selfies.
Let me ask you two horrible scenarios, and
Two
you have
horrible
to pick
scenarios.
which one would rather
Okay,
die from.
let's do this.
Assuming you would die from either
Wait,
one of
die
these.
from. Okay, so this is the end of your life, leading in. This
No,
is the scenario
Jack,
that
it's
ends.
the fucking middle.
Okay. Of a really.
I'm quality.
The last
damn
half's
it.
really long and really shitty.
Check it out on IMDb.
So, would you rather have explosive decompression gusts and you get sucked out of a plane at 35,000 feet and you fall the entire way at 35,000 feet, or middle of the Pacific Ocean, you fall off a cruise ship?
I would rather fall 35,000 feet.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, also you can survive the fall.
Yeah.
What fall?
From 35,000 feet,
If you, land
can
in
do
like
you can do things to improve your odds
But
of
he
survival. But he said
qualified
you
it
will
saying
die.
that you will die. So.
No, no, just
No,
the
no.
horror of either
because
one.
I would know if I was stranded in the middle of damn ocean, I was going to drown. I'd be like, well, there's no hope because I can't see any land in any direction.
I don't want to drown.
But if
drowning.
I was falling, I'd be like, oh, what can I land on here? Because people have landed on like shrubs and.
But he
like,
said you will
bramble.
die.
No.
No, I'm okay with saying you
All
could
right.
possibly survive.
So you can land in a
because it's
tree.
Not fucking true.
You could be slowed down by a tree and then land in like bramble, like that guy. Do you remember the guy who like his
You
chute,
sound like my idiot fucking friend.
his chute didn't open and he was just like spinning because it like kind of partially opened.
Yeah, it's a parachute. You don't have one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but what I'm
just
saying
falling.
is he hit the ground at a similar speed to terminal velocity anyway. He just landed in some like really thick plant and he like
But he
punctured
was
a
being
lung, broke
slowed
it.
down by the
Yeah,
parachute.
you're
would-
not at terminal velocity.
I would
Let's
rather.
just assume all you had is that nose and
I'm
that
sh-
bad haircut. That's all you got between you
No.
and
This
the
would probably
speed
make
of
me
fall.
speed up, wouldn't it? 'Cause it's like a wind. I'd be really. I bet I could go faster than a regular human with this beast.
I wouldn't
Jack's
want,
beard would slow him
I
down.
wouldn't
That's
want to
true.
drown.
Catching the wind.
Even if it's a situation where there's no survival, I would rather fall.
Yeah. No, because at that point it's like it's like, well, I've got 1 minute to live. This is gonna
Yeah,
suck.
and at least you wouldn't.
Yeah, like in water, you'd be like, well, you could live
I
for
don't. The open water thing is horrifying.
you could
to
live
me.
for
Yeah,
a day or
it's
two
horrifying.
just floating.
Yeah, at least you
theoretically.
know.
Well,
You
maybe
can-
not a
you
day,
can
but
live-
a few hours just
Did
floating.
I don't.
You
Did you
can
know
keep
I don't float?
Really?
Everyone floats with a lungful.
No,
You do.
I float.
We are gonna float you.
I
You're
float.
gonna take a deep
I'll tell you right
breath.
now. I float 2 feet underwater.
Oh, so you're like neutral buoyant?
Yeah, I'm neutral buoyant at like 2 feet
So you have
underwater.
like a reduced
No.
lung capacity.
I don't know what it is. I
All
can't.
right, we are gonna make you
We'll-
float.
we'll film it.
I want you to take the deepest breath you can, and we are gonna float you.
Okay.
Gus. And we're gonna put stuff
I
on
do.
you
I
and
do.
sail
I
you
do have a
down
little
the
more
river.
fat on
Yeah.
me since I last did this. So
Yeah,
let's
you
see.
would have been just bones back then.
Back
Everyone
when I was a
essentially-
skeleton, I couldn't do it.
Everyone has the same speed of sink. Everybody has that, and you're not an exception to that rule.
It would be the force of sink versus the force of buoyancy.
I have an idiot friend. And I'm not pointing at you because he's like you, but you're not the idiot friend. He actually said this. He said that if he fell out of a plane, he would aim for a mountain. He'd aim for a mountain
To hit the angle?
and he'd run.
The thing is, that would probably work.
Yeah.
Oh, it would not work.
It would work because you'd be like.
You'd be falling like
glancing.
this versus an angle.
No.
You'd be
You'd be glancing and you'd be slowed down with each one. You'd
No,
go up, up.
you'd hit it. And you'd be a stain on the side of Everest.
So first glance, you lose your left foot. Then you lose your right foot.
And then you're tumbling.
Your hip comes out of the socket. Your leg goes flying.
He was convinced. He almost wanted to jump out of a plane to prove it could be done.
That's like,
One of your friends,
No.
and I'm not going to name his name, was trying to convince me what a good idea it would be for him to jump off of the 360 bridge in Austin. And
Oh,
for-
I can say who it is. I know who it is.
yeah, for us to film it.
It's Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking
he was
idiot.
like, and then you all can film it. And I was like, you would die. He's like, no, it's water. We're like,
Yeah,
are
it's
you
water.
stupid? He's
Scott's
like, yeah,
one of
you
it.
climb up to the top of the Pennybacker Bridge and jump off and survive.
Did he?
But that's the thing about space. It's all about
Go
where
ahead.
you put your base point in terms of what's moving and what isn't. Like if you stop in space,
Hold on,
the s-
Muriel.
people know?
I got this. Shut up! Hey! Shut up!
We're recording the podcast. Shut up. Okay, I got that one.
They actually quieted down.
I am really scared of you right now.
It's like a real life Rooster Teeth office
saw
tour.
the veins pop out of your neck.
You said you were so mad you kept interrupting yourself.
You're like, hey, no, you shut up. Hey.
Oh God. Yeah, do they not? It's Monday.
Well, it's not like we've been doing this for 7 years or something.
I just got a tweet from the break room. It's Lawrence. It's like, no. That's passive aggressive.
Do you remember that parrot that came back?
Okay, hold on. Wait, stop.
Yeah, let's figure this one out.
Stop.
Let's figure this one out.
Did we hear about the
Parrot that came back. So here's
Do
what
you-
happened,
do we know
guys.
any
Where did it
famous
go?
parrots?
There was a family that lost their pet parrot, and then it was gone for a long time, and then it returned, or followed them over a great distance to a new place.
I've got a different interpretation.
Go ahead.
Family had a parrot. They woke up one morning, the parrot was dead. They buried it, and then later that day, the parrot unburied itself and
Your
came
story's
back.
way better than
I'm
mine.
gonna say it was a
Okay.
parrot that was at a zoo or some type of well-known parrot that did a lot of cool tricks, and it flew away and then returned to the zoo someday.
Gavin,
A couple years later.
tell us about the parrot that came back.
So apparently, it was a story from England. There was a guy who had a parrot for a long time.
A pet parrot.
Pet parrot.
Okay.
Barb's out.
I'm out.
It just flew off one day.
Damn.
4 years later, it came back speaking Spanish.
What?
Was it? How did you know it was the same one
And he was
though?
annoyed that it didn't know English anymore.
Did he have to go like call a Spanish friend and be like, "Hey, listen, can you come over? The parrot's being difficult."
How did he know it was the same parrot? Like, couldn't it?
I think he
guess-
could just tell it was the same parrot because it came back,
I
but it'd
assume
been
it, yeah.
it'd been living in Spain.
Well, you assume that, but it could just live with a Spanish family.
Oh, like down the road.
Down the road,
I
yeah,
guess
like
so.
like 20 houses away or something like that.
It just must have been so annoying to like have to reteach your parrot English because it forgot it all.
I didn't start cooking until I feel like college.
Really?
And I was like, I made my cooking skills have not progressed since college. I make spaghetti and eggs and
Well, hey, I've got a service for you.
and
It actually- There you go.
and
There you go.
fish. What do you do with the
Okay,
fish?
cool.
That's it. Yeah.
How do you make fish is so complicated to make?
No, it isn't.
not.
No, it isn't. No, not my fish.
You have fish sticks. What do you make? What do you make?
You just get some fish that are raw. And
What
then-
kind of
Okay.
fish?
What?
Name a fish, Chris.
What are you eating? You go to the
Name a
store-
name of a fish.
You go to the store, you give me fish.
Sword.
Swords.
Swordfish.
You buy swordfish?
That's expensive.
You just said name a fish. I was thinking of
name
fish.
a
What
fish
fish
you
do you
eat?
cook?
Why are you going off the reservation for that?
He's continuing the theme of Chris talking
Salmon.
about things he's never
Salmon.
done.
Salmon. There we go.
You just buy fish, and then doesn't matter what kind.
God damn
You
it.
buy it, it's
It
alive.
matters a little bit. I'm gonna go to the butcher and go to the fish section and go, I want sword.
No, just say I want fish.
I want to buy one fish, please.
And then I just, I put it in what I do for cooking is whatever I'm cooking, I just put like dressing on it, like salad dressing.
You put like Italian salad dressing?
Yeah, whatever dressing I have.
Ranch?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
It's whatever dressing I have. It's like I'm cooking fish or whatever it is. I'll just put dressing on it, and then I'm like cook it. I'm like, oh, it tastes like
skipping so many
balsamic
steps.
vinegar.
Do you put like Thousand Island on it?
Sure,
Like, look,
yeah.
it's like you're back in the ocean, swimming amongst the islands.
Yeah, because it's like all those flavors mixed together into one like, cool sauce, and then
Chris.
So what? I gotta get walked through the salmon.
I don't normally ever eat seafood. If I go to your house, will you cook me fish? I really want to try
Can
this.
we have a fish cook-off with Chris and like nobody else, just Chris?
Chris, you need to make us fish.
I'll do that. Just give me a couple salad dressings.
How about a fish cook-off between Chris and Teddy, my 11-year-old, and see who can make better fish?
Can we get a Michelin star for a food truck?
I don't know how it couldn't qualify. I have no idea with that stunning recipe of fish and dressing.
What kind of dressing? Whatever.
Whatever.
What kind of fish? I would like sword with.
You remember those colognes we were talking about that I got that smell like grass and other things?
Yes.
Stuff like that?
Did you get rainbow as well?
No. Do they have cotton candy in the UK?
Candyfloss.
What? This one smells like puke.
Well, that's it. We're out. Thanks for watching. We'll be back.